At this time, it is an honor for me to introduce your Vice President, Kelsey Caparelli.
I have the pleasure of introducing the speaker for the Class of 2011 graduation ceremony. Mr. Daniel Francis Rosewag has spent the entirety of his teaching career at Century High School. Virtually all of the students in this audience have had him as a teacher, as he teaches both government and technology education courses. While Mr. Rosewag has worked hard to inspire and spread passion through his efforts as STEM Academy leader, school improvement chair, or teachings, what we will remember most about him is the fact that he always goes all out. If you were to ask him what one should shoot for when doing anything in life, as I did when I was preparing this introduction, he would tell you this: do it like it's never been done before and make it awesome. Leave an impression that lets people know you care, you did it the best you could, and you did it for them. With this speech, he promises to offer no more advice, to give no more guidance, but to make it about us, the class of 2011, to make it for us on our day, and ultimately to make it awesome and leave us with an experience, something that we may remember forever. Class of 2011, I give you your speaker, Mr. Rosewag.
Thank you, Kelsey. Class of 2011, this one's for you. Music, please. 4 years ago, 300 students walked through the doors of Century High School, where they met Mr. Cockley. Over the course of that day, they heard the rules, regulations, and expectations that would inherently guide the next 4 years of their lives. Overwhelmed with the excitement that entering high school brings, they were riddled with a barrage of information, from advisories and academies to class schedule, locker and room location, this teacher, that teacher, A wing, B wing, where in the world is the G wing, and why does the C wing not even exist? Confused and lost in the bewilderment of a world once dreamt of, reality slowly began to creep in, and they ultimately realized they were freshmen. Slowly wandering from the confines of childhood that dictated the days of recess and play day, they embraced their place in the world and eventually found themselves deep within the purgatory of sophomore year. Trapped in a time frozen, where questions like, "I thought you were a freshman," or "You mean you're not a junior?" left them alone and at odds with the task of forging their own identities. Driving licenses loomed in the distance, and the state of Maryland changed laws to push that day even further away. The year seemed to go on forever. Stuck in a world between HSA and AP, where filling in bubbles was as common as the coloring of a child. A world of take the hat off, put the phone away, give me that, you need a belt, that's not proper attire. Where's your pass? Where are you supposed to be? Do you have a note? Go to guidance. Throw your trash away. You can only call from the front office. Fill this out. Sit down. Stop talking. Get to class, please. They were learning to play both by and within the rules, and received a ring as a token of their initiation to the next level of academia and life. They were slowly finding their place and began to become comfortable with themselves as fears of compatibility and difference with their peers slowly began to fade. They were beginning to emerge from the cocoon of adolescence and introduce who they were to who they really wanted to be. No one really knows what happened the summer after that school year but them. But something changed. Something was different. They came back for the next year different. Yes, they were juniors, but there was more. A different swagger in their walk, assertive confidence and question in their tone. Moving up from the kiddies table at holiday events was now more than just a thought. They were walking within the concourse of the upper tier and eager to get to their seats in the game of life. They They were given the chance to leave the building through academic endeavor if chosen, and their thirst for increased independence brought opportunity, but only with increased responsibility. Many were now allowed to drive those beyond just immediate family, and their world was beginning to grow beyond that of Carroll County. Oh yes, being a junior brought them prestige and status, but it also brought planning prom, mock interviews. What are you going to do with your future? Planning senior year, portfolios, a lot more coloring of bubbles, a blizzard that would help define their history. Frustration, boredom, the guarantee not to have to sit on the gym floor at school assemblies. They found accomplishment and mistake as the guiding forces within the definition of self, and they left that year eager to move on, eager to walk in the footsteps of those that forged life before them, eager to make all decisions for themselves and be considered equals in a world that was dictated and known by those only as adults. Senior year began with the excitement not of being in high school, but wanting to leave it. Bonds of friendship and guidance had been carved as handholds that would help their climb in the rock of life. But the monotony of attendance, interns, report cards, and advisories light lessons were beginning to wane. They wanted nothing more than to be set free. Nothing more than to not to have to ask to go to the bathroom, get a drink, or talk to a colleague or peer. Years of education and the gradual self-realization had brought them to this point, and their willingness to hear about life was finally outweighed by the overwhelming desire growing within them to take action and truly go out and experience the world for themselves. Counting the days as if they were passing cars on the highway, the final road was wrought with small tastes of their future lives, such as concurrent enrollment, work release, and internships, while experiences of aiding, taking classes not needed to graduate, and realizing it, senior breakfast and senior wellness brought enough relief for them not to explode in anticipation of the day that they would be set free, the day that the world would be theirs and they would walk these halls no more. Pausing only to take time in their ceremonial rite with homecoming, prom, senior presentation, cruise, and honking horns moving swiftly through their thoughts and actions. Their day approached, their time neared, and questions of eligibility began to cloud thoughts of capability in their heads. Do I have enough service hours? Do I need this class to graduate? Am I on the ineligible list? Do I have all my credits? Did I order my robe and tassels and fill out all the right forms? Are they going to say my name right? Does Mr. Cockley or the rest of the administration know about what happened last weekend? And is it going to keep me from walking across stage? These became their thoughts, their stress consumed by the pending conclusions. The days continued to pass, however, and weekends turned to landmarks as the day finally arrived. The house was booked, the shoes were bought, the practices held, and the guest passes issued. All but remained was the day itself. The seats began to fill, and the back room crowded with check-in and smiles as robes blended all to one. And together, those who conquered would emerge victorious in their freedom. They moved to their seats, and they sat as one, unified in experience, to be forever branded with this passage of right. This, their day. This, their time. And at this very moment, not just your graduation, your freedom. I'm going to miss you too. A lot. May I present Superintendent of Carroll County Public Schools, Mr. Steve Guthrie.
I have to tell you, that was great. Parents, family members, friends, staff, and the class of 2011. It is both a pleasure and an honor for me to be here tonight, today, to take place in this special occasion. To the students, congratulations on this significant accomplishment, and thank you for the work it took to get you here. I also want to take this opportunity to lend my thanks to your friends, family, and the entire staff at Century High School for providing you with the support needed for you to make this great accomplishment. Teamwork is great. Good things happen when people work together. In what's getting to be a very long time ago, another Carroll County senior class had as their class motto, "Becoming is superior to being." Close to graduation, I asked the class president what she thought it meant. She replied, "You know, Mr. Guthrie, it's funny, but looking back, getting to graduation, that was the fun part, not being here." She was right. What you will remember most about high school is not the piece of paper you're getting here, but what you went through to get it. The good times, the not so good times, the friends you made, the tears you shed, and of course, the knowledge that you are taking with you. You entered our school system as children, and you are leaving as adults. Remember that becoming is superior to being. Pick a destination that you want, and you will have fun getting there. I wish you good luck and meaningful journeys. Will the graduating seniors and platform guests please rise? It is with great pleasure and pride that I officially present the graduating class of 2011 of Century High School for the awarding of diplomas. Board members, Mrs. Seidel, Mrs. Shreve, and the principal of Century High School, Andrew Cockley, and I certify that these graduates have successfully completed all the requirements for a Maryland High School diploma or certificate. Congratulations. You may be seated.